Hello, everybody. How's it going? Let me know in the comments, first of all, that you guys can see and hear us really well. You should be able to just do that in the question box down there. But I'm super, super excited for today's webinar because it's going to be something that actually I don't have too much experience nor knowledge on. And I'm joined, I don't know if you can see him over here to my left or right. Ezra, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Big fan of the Amazon marketplace, Amazon FBA sellers. Ran an Amazon FBA only business from 2012 to 2019. So happy to be here. Excited to talk about it.
Now you're going to go a little bit more into detail on your experience, but just briefly, guys, Ezra knows what he's talking about as far as e-commerce and especially, Shopify. He's got an 8-figure e-commerce business, in the tens of, for those of you who can't count that well, or like myself, that means, he's made tens of millions of dollars on and off of Amazon, and he's really going to bring the fire, no pun intended, there. But the real reason why we have him on today is just because he's my only e-commerce friend who actually likes sumo wrestling, like myself. So that's the real reason why he's on. Oh, he's got his little guy. Where's my guy? I have one guy here too, but I cleaned my desk and he's gone. But if
My
anybody
second guy.
thinks that sumo wrestling is only for humongous fat people, I want you guys to Google or YouTube Ezra and my favorite little guy, Enho, E-N-H-O. So if you guys, you're going to be learning about Shopify, but if you learn one other thing today, type in Enho and sumo in YouTube and prepare yourselves to be
Yeah, and,
wowed.
and one other thing we have in common is Bradley and I both at one point in our lives were competitive sumo athletes.
Exactly. Exactly. So there we go. So now you know for a fact that Ezra is a cool person because he likes
I
sumo.
throw
But
down.
anyways,
I got a mean arm drag. I think Bradley's got the size advantage, but Enho's showing us that the little guy can get it done. So
he can. And actually, it's funny, it's a weird analogy, but that's kind of like how Amazon and Shopify are. It allows the little guys, who might not in the past have been able to deal with the big Yokozunas of the big companies out there. It allows you to get almost on an even playing field, and you're going to help us with that. That's amazing how I tied sumo into e-commerce right now. But
I like
anyways,
it. Well played. Well played.
Ezra, why don't you go ahead and take it away, introduce yourself. I think you got some slides to show us, but guys, make sure to pay attention. This is going to be some great stuff.
Cool. And I just before I made Ashley a panelist, I want to ensure that's Ashley from my team. Ashley, if you're unmuted, can you just go ahead and tell me if I did the right person?
Yep, that's me. Thank you, Ez.
Okay. Hey, all right. So I got some support here in the background who will be able to answer questions and things like that. And I will leave time at the end here to answer your questions as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. So let's share my screen and let me just play my thing. Okay, so can you see my slides here, Bradley? I can't hear you if you're talking.
Sorry, yep, I can see it. I see starting in 5. Perfect.
Beautiful. So I will not be able to see questions or anything. So if you want to interrupt at any point, please feel free to do. I'll be able to hear you, but that's it. So here we go. These are 5 steps to expanding off of Amazon. Now, I just want to be perfectly clear that I don't think you need to expand off of Amazon. I don't think it's a good idea to expand off Amazon until your Amazon business is doing about $10,000 a month. I think, feed your stallions. Your Amazon business is your stallion. It is what is working. It is what is feeding you. It is what is making money. Double down on that before you expand. Now, there's a good argument to be made for expansion and putting some of your energy towards expansion, not all of it, maybe 10, 20% of your business energy towards making your brand more valuable by getting sales from a third-party channel that isn't Amazon, such as a Shopify website. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. My name is Ezra Firestone. I'm the CEO and founder of Boom by Cindy Joseph. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I think that the most valuable thing that you have is your time. And when you choose to spend that with me, I'm going to do my best to give you as much value as I possibly can. So this is me. I own an 8-figure e-commerce business. We did 25 million in 2019. And we're not on Amazon at all, by the way. This is all through Shopify. We're going to make a pivot and add Amazon on at the Q2 of next year. But I've been running this brand now I've been running e-commerce brands for over 15 years, and I've had this one since 2010. And I'm just a dude who loves this stuff. If I can learn all this stuff and do it, you can too. I have 98 team members. It's actually updated. I have 103 team members now, employees. And the last 4.5 years, my brand has made over $100 million in revenue. So I tell you that this is a snapshot of Boom by Cindy Joseph, which is my core brand. You can see, it's a Shopify site selling cosmetics. And I don't tell you that to brag. I tell you that because the way that you demonstrate what you're talking about in this industry is you share your stats. So I'm not being like, hooray for me, I'm super cool. I'm just saying, hey, I've been doing this for 15 years. I really know how to do it well. I started as a one-man show off a couch in Brooklyn with no money. I didn't have any money. I work in a full-time job. And I built this e-commerce empire, if you want to use the word that's popular. And I'll share with you what I know, and I'm good at teaching. I've been teaching since 2012, so I'm good at sharing what works for me. So why would you expand off of Amazon? Like, what would be the point of that? Well, brand assets. That's the only reason. The only reason to expand off of Amazon is to increase your ownership of brand assets. What is a brand asset? Well, it's an audience of people. So, could be an email list, could be somebody who visited your website who you now have pixeled that you can run ads to. It's email and SMS subscribers who you can communicate with, and it's customers who you have their address, you can mail them stuff, you can email them stuff. So that's really and it's your social media profiles, how many followers and fans you have there, that follows under audiences. And the more assets your brand has, the more valuable your brand is. And we know, with all the wonderful things about Amazon, one of the negatives is that you don't get any assets, right? You don't get to keep the customer data. And that's a bit of an issue with in terms of market volatility. And so I want to go a level deeper here, which is the game that we're playing is about resource generation. It's about how can I generate the most resource possible and then use that resource towards causes that I find noble. So the way that you generate resources, right? So I think the game is generate resource, which is wealth, and then use it towards causes we find noble, taking care of our family, taking care of our community, serving the world, putting it towards causes we believe in. And a cash flow business or even a salaried position won't necessarily get you there, right? You run a business and you run it for cash flow. So basically you're running your business and you're pulling out a certain amount of profit from that business every month and you're living on that. Well, that is not how you generate wealth. The way that you generate wealth is by liquidating assets. So like my parents' generation understood this. They took their 401ks and the money they made from their jobs and they invested it in real estate, an asset. And then they let that asset appreciate. And over time, the asset got more valuable and then they sold it. And what we do is we build businesses, right? You'll make more money from your business the day that you sell it than you were able to pull out of it in the entire time you ran it. And I can tell you, I am running a business that I've been running for 10 years that I can pull millions of dollars out of each year. And I will make more money from that business the day I sell it than all the money I was able to pull out of it combined. So the game is actually not how do I optimize my Amazon business to kick off the most cash flow, or how do I have my business pay me the most? The game is how do I invest in my business such that I create the most valuable asset possible, such that when I sell the company, I get more money at that point. I have the most valuable asset possible. I get more money at that point than I could have ever dreamed of, which opens me up to being able to do things like buy businesses, buy real estate, invest, deploy just gives you access to liquid capital in a way that you can't get otherwise. So if you could do only one thing to increase the value of your Amazon only brand, just one thing, it would be to expand off of Amazon. Not because you need to, and not because Amazon isn't awesome, but because brands, what a business does is it comes down to a group of people and multiple ways to communicate with them. And when you're on Amazon, you only have one way to communicate with them. If you add Shopify and emails and audiences and ads, you have 2 additional channels of communication, thereby making that brand a little more stable, thereby making it more valuable when you go to sell it. So the more assets that you have as a brand, the more valuable your brand is. If you can, and I think it's quite easy, and this is really the goal. The goal isn't to go build a Shopify business. You're an Amazon business owner. Stick to what you know. The goal is to generate 5 to 10% of your revenue. Look, some people are able to use my stuff and use my apps and use my trainings and go build a business that's bigger on Shopify than Amazon. That happens a lot, but it's not the norm. The norm is 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 maybe % of their revenue coming from their website, which then makes their brand significantly more valuable. So getting 5 to 10% more revenue from your Amazon brand on Shopify is actually not hard. And when you look at the multiple that you will sell for, right? An Amazon only brand, you know, it can have growth, it can be a leader in its category, it can have attractive customers, but it's never going to have control of the customer, and it's never going to have channel diversity, which is when a business sells, it sells for a multiple of the yearly profit, including owner discretionary income. So, you know, any money you pay yourself. So let's say your business makes $100,000 a year. At the high end, your Amazon brand will sell for 400, 500 grand max. Whereas if your e-commerce business makes 100 grand a year, it could sell for a lot more than that. Or a brand that has a footprint off of Amazon. So that's the game. The game is build a footprint off of Amazon with 10 to 20% of your energy, expand the value of your brand, add a little stability, make it more profitable when you sell it. This is just another example of valuations based on how much money the brand makes, right? Seller discretionary earnings, also known as EBITDA, 100,000, you know, 2 to 3 multiple or a 4 multiple for a direct to consumer, so on and so forth, right? Based on the size of the business is a factor as well. So if you expand off Amazon with sales, you immediately increase the value of your brand. And so why, you know, a lot of people try this, right? Try to do this and they fail. And I have noticed over the years why brands fail. And that's what I'm gonna share with you. So Amazon brands are familiar with a buying process that goes search. Hey, someone searches for the product, electric skateboard. They find a product. They go to the product listing page and they buy it. Search, find, buy. That's sort of like the Amazon model, right? And when you are an e-commerce retailer who came up in this model of retailing, you don't understand how to make e-commerce work not on Amazon, because on Amazon, the purchase decision is happening on the product page. And so that's what you have to optimize. Yeah, you got to, you know, run ads. Yeah, you got to rank well. Yeah, you got to, you know, get reviewed. But the actual purchase decision is happening on the product page. Well, which is here. You know, so you optimize your listing, you get reviews, you buy traffic and rank, so on and so forth. You know all this stuff. Helium 10 teaches this. Well, off of Amazon, the sales process is a lot more complex. Not a ton more, but it's, you know, it's a little more complex, which is that you've got an advertisement, and from that advertisement, they go to a product offer page. From there to a shopping cart, from there to an upsell, and then finally you get paid. And so off of Amazon, the purchase decision is happening across more assets. The purchase decision, you know, brands that fail at expansion get those assets wrong, and they get a few other things wrong as well. But we're going to focus on the assets. So these are 5 steps to expanding off of Amazon if you want to do it successfully. Step 1 is profit. So buy for 1, sell for 3 is the minimum off of Amazon. So you can see here, I buy this for 9, I sell it for 29. That's a buy for 1, sell for 3.2, right? This product I buy for 6, I sell for 28. That's a buy for 1, sell for 4.6. That's better, but above 3 is kind of what you need, because, you know, the better the profit margin, the better it works. Because on Amazon, you've got a 20%, you know, or let's say between a 10 and 20% conversion rate on your product detail page. On e-commerce, when you're driving traffic from social media, you only have like a 2% conversion rate, because people weren't coming to the platform ready to buy the way they are on Amazon. So you need a much better profit margin. So picking a product that has a high profit margin. By the way, if your product costs $5 and you sell it for 15, that's worse than if your product costs $10 and you sell it for 30, because if you buy it for 5 and sell it for 15, you're only making $10. If you buy it for 10 and sell it for 30, you're making 20. So you know, when you get up to like buying products for 15 bucks, buying them for 20 bucks, you know, you can drop the multiple down a little bit. But what I find is that buy for 1, sell for 3, and even better, buy for 1, sell for 5 tends to be the brands when they launch products off of Amazon that work the best. They have margins that support it. One of the ways that you can achieve higher margins is with average order value. So 75% of people who shop from you literally never come back. I don't care what way you want to do it. Amazon, Shopify, electronics, apparel, cosmetics, 7 out of 10 people are never coming back. So you have to get, no matter what brand you are, you have to get as much money as you can on the initial order. And so there's ways to do that. Amazon does it for themselves with these bundles, right? They offer bundling on the product detail page to increase the average order value. It's very common on Amazon, right? Well, on e-commerce, you have to be doing pre-purchase order bumps. So I have apps that help you with this. So an order bump is an on-page upsell that's used to maximize average order value. So this is my first e-commerce website from 2007. This is me in a mullet wig. That's my wife in a troll wig. So I was 19, my brother in a clown wig, and there's me as Elvis. Now, what you'll notice is on this product offer page, you have a pre-purchase cross-sell above the add to cart button. That's a pre-purchase order bump saying, hey, add a wig cap to your order. And, you know, right now, just use this drop down. We had a 60% take rate on that pre-purchase order bump. And that wig cap only cost me 50 cents. So I was adding $3.50 of pure profit to 60% of orders with that pre-purchase order bump on the product offer page. You can also do it using pricing tiers. Hey, you know, 2 ounce, 4 ounce, 8 ounce, right? You order more, you spend more. Hey, buy 2 jars and get it at a bigger discount. Buy 3 jars, etc. Right? You can do it. This is a purple mattress. Just they're doing it through multiple sizes. That's one way to go. You can upsell to a bundle. Here we're just saying, hey, you can save money by purchasing the bundle, and then it clicks you over to the product offer page. This is the Amazon bundle, the way they do it. Here's another example of a brand that's saying, hey, you know, this product also comes in a bundle. Click over to it, and you go to the different product page, and you can get the set and save money, right? Save $12 by getting it in the set. You can cross-sell an additional item like I'm doing here. You can do subscription if it's relevant for your product. But by the way, subscription is mainly for repeat customers. It doesn't really work on the front end. So I wouldn't recommend that if you're trying to get new customers. You can do what's called a sandwich page. So they add a product to the cart, and then instead of taking them to the cart, you sandwich another page in between. I've got apps that help you do this. And before I want to actually, you can see my whole screen here, Bradley?
Yeah, I see Google right now.
Great. So I want to show you something else. So I've got apps that build your Shopify store for you that I'm going to tell you about later. But I wanted to show that, you know, another way we do this is we have what's called the buy box. This is the buy box, right? It's like your carousel, your social proof and description. And here in the buy box, we're saying, hey, do you also want to add this item? Just choose which one you want and select this checkbox. So you can add an additional item in the actual buy box as well. That works. Now, you don't just want to be doing pre-purchase order bumps on the product page, but you also want to do it in the cart. So we've got a tool, and you can use a lot of tools for this, but that allows you, when someone's in your shopping cart, it says, hey, do you want to replace this item with a bundle that includes it? You can literally replace the product in the cart with a bundle, or it also does, so it says, hey, this product's going to get replaced with this bundle and you're going to save money when you go to checkout in the actual shopping cart. You just have to click that button. You can also say, hey, add this additional item to your order. So in the shopping cart, you can say, hey, you know, because you have this one product, we want to give you a discount and offer you this additional item as well. And so on the product page, we're optimizing the average order value through an order bump. On the shopping cart, we're optimizing the average order value through an order bump. And then post-purchase, after they buy, we don't send them to a thank you page. We go from the product page to the cart to a one-click upsell, a post-purchase one-click upsell, saying, hey, before you go, we want to offer you one more. of these items. And I want to show you something. I'm actually going to show you the back end of my store here. This is the application that I use. It's called One Click Upsell. But I want to show you that in the last 30 days, $200,000 in revenue has come, 81,000 from pre-purchase and 122,000 from post-purchase, right? So that's like, a total of 5%, 5%, like 8% of my total revenue. 8% of the revenue from my brand is coming from making these additional offers when someone goes to check out, right? Someone's in the shopping cart. So first of all, I'm offering it on the product page. Then they're in the shopping cart. I'm offering it in the cart. Hey, I want to add this on, so on and so forth. So average order value optimization is one of the reasons why Amazon merchants fail on Shopify, because they don't understand how to do it. You need to be doing it on product page, cart, and checkout. Even if you only have one item, you're offering them to add the same thing again, right? Like you can see here, when they buy Boomstick Color, I'm saying get one more of these, and that works incredibly well. Next, conversion. So the other thing that Amazon merchants don't, at first they don't understand profit margin, because Amazon's a race to the bottom, and so they figure that the profit margins that they're selling on Amazon at will work off of Amazon, but they won't. You need better profit margin, and it's fine to raise your prices off of Amazon, because the people who were going to buy from you on Amazon are going to go over there and buy from you. They're not the same people who are going to buy on your website. So it's a myth that you have higher prices on your site and nobody will buy from it. It's not true. So you got to have a nice profit margin. You got to have average order value optimized, and then you got to have conversion optimized, because if you can get 2 out of every 100 visitors to buy from you instead of 1, you've doubled your business with no additional traffic. So let's talk about the layout of your page. You've got your header, you've got your carousel and your buy box, and then you've got your stacked conversion support content. And I'm not gonna give you I teach a mini course on this that I can send you, but you have to get these things right. And the way that you get these right is you stack what are called conversion assets together. And again, you have some level of understanding of this from Amazon, but not really, because Amazon, you don't need to do near as much on your Amazon detail page to get somebody to buy, because they searched for your product before they found you. On e-commerce, they weren't searching for you ahead of time. You're using what's called multi-data point contextual traffic. You're aggregating data points, women over 50 who live in New York, etc., and you're putting messages in front of them, and you're trying to capture their attention and get them interested. So you have to be much more salesy. So a conversion asset is that the theory I have is that your product page is simply a collection of conversion assets that work in concert with one another to support you and your goal, which is a conversion event, and the prospect in their goal, which is a solution to their problem. There's traditional product offer pages where you're sticking everything above the fold and you've got tabbed product information. There's long form sales pages where you're doing long forms, kind of left right content like Amazon. And then there's mini sites where you have multiple pages, a home page, a buy box page. You have multiple pages that are assisting in the conversion process of an individual product. I always use long form or mini sites. I'd say about 60% of my products are long form sales pages, easiest to start there when you're new, and then about 40% are product mini sites where I've got multiple pages that are unified by what's called a sticky header, as an example. Back on this Boom Gold page we were on, you'll notice that I've got a home page here. As you scroll, the header sticks with you. So you're consuming content, and then everywhere on the page is a call to action to the buy box page, which is essentially just social proof and sales copy and an FAQ. So that's a product mini site. So some things that you want to have no matter what you choose is you want your call to action to be above the fold on desktop and mobile. So just in case people don't scroll, they can click the call to action button above the fold. I have applications that do all this stuff for you, but I want to teach you about it. Whether if maybe you're on WooCommerce, maybe you're on Magento, maybe you're on BigCommerce, maybe you're on Shopify and you don't want to use my apps or whatever, you got to know this stuff. So you want to keep your call to action above the fold. I have a formula that works really well. So you want to get I want to show you something else too. Let me just pull up Hotjar real quick for a recent page. Just going to sign in here. So here's a recent page that I'm running, and we'll look at it on mobile here. Look at how important the carousel is. But what I want to show you is that, you know, so let's say right to here. So the first, you know, the buy box, we'll go, it'll be easier to see on desktop. Let's go desktop. This is how long people scroll. So you can see by the time you get below, this page has a sales video. It's got a buy box and then a sales video and then some long form content. And only about half of the people make it down to the long form content. Most of the people are, you know, let's say half the people are staying up here where the buy box is and where the demo video is, right? That's half the visitors. So if you don't get the buy box copy right, you're hosed. You have to get it right. So let me give you my formula for it. So I've got a formula, and I've tested this across, I mean, thousands of my students are testing this. It just works. So I open with a customer testimonial. I don't open with, hey, this is what this product is. I open with a customer telling you, the consumer, what's good about it. Then I have one benefit on the one sentence on the ownership benefit of the product. The ownership benefit, like what is the benefit of owning this product? And then I've got 1 to 2 sentence that kind of describes what the product is, why it's good, etc. And this is my formula for the buy box. And if you end up, which I'll tell you about in a minute, using my application that helps you build these pages, you'll see that I've got this built in to the templates for you, right? That buy box copy formula. You need to have unique selling propositions in image format on your product offer page. So some people are going to read, but some people are only going to scroll and look at images. So if you don't have what your unique selling propositions are also in image format on the page, you won't convert as high as you can, right? Another example of that. You have to use the isolation effect on your call to action buttons. The isolation effect is where you have a color on the page that is not used anywhere else on the page, so it really pops out. And if you use that on your call to action buttons, they get clicked more often. So you want to isolate and contrast the color of the call to action buttons, which people don't do. You can see on the WIG website, we were using orange. Zipify Pages helps you with that. And by the way, those are just some big key conversion principles. I teach on the Zipify blog here. You can go to zipify.com and you can go to the blog. All we're talking about here are conversion best practice principles. You can read all these posts and get a bunch of really good information on that. But I just wanted to, I'm trying to give you, what are the 5 things that Amazon owners get wrong? Well, they don't understand that before you go out and drive traffic, you have to set your product offer page up such that it's going to convert, right? You have to really focus on those conversion assets. You got to get customer testimonial videos. You got to get long form left right sales copy. You got to get really well done product images, not just product images of the product, but product images of the product being used in its intended environment. Amazon's images are only products. They don't show the lifestyle. Most people don't show the lifestyle size of it. They don't show the product being used in its intended environment. They just show the product on white. So you got to mix up the pictures. And I teach a lot more about the conversion, but you got your conversion dialed. And then there's your cost per customer acquisition, right? The more customers that you can drive to buy from you, the more assets you have. Customers are the most important asset. And so this is my winning video ad formula. So basically, when I showed you up here, I want to go back to this. I want to show you something right here. So the two off of Amazon, there's 2 assets that are really the most important 2 assets. There's the advertisement that the person sees on social media, which is actually where the buying decision is made. The buying decision is made on social media before they ever see your product page. Your product page needs to give a much deeper explanation of the value of the product and get them over the line, but they already decided they were interested in it and that they potentially wanted to buy it before they ever got there. Whereas with Amazon, it's different. They search for the product and then they make the decision on the product page. So the video, and I recommend starting with video, is the most important asset when you're off of Amazon because it's the thing that has to get their attention while they're on social media, tell them a story that compels them, demonstrate the benefit of owning the product, and compel them to go look at the product page to learn more details about the product. So I'm going to give you my current winning formula for video ads that is just crushing right now. I mean, it's literally the best formula. We've been running this same formula for 2 years now, and we've got a bunch of students who are doing it. I call it love, demo, love. So I open up with a face-to-camera customer testimonial where it's a customer face-to-camera shot on their iPhone. This was a professionally shot one, so ignore this, but I'll show you actually. I'll pop into my Facebook account here and I'll actually show you what I mean. So you can see this is my top of funnel advertising campaign to get new people in the door. And you can see this is a customer face to camera. And I'll actually go and find one that's running here. So face to camera customer testimonial, showing why, talking about why she loves the product, showing how she uses the product, then a little bit of a story about my brand and a demonstration, and then more face to camera customer testimonials. I call it love, demo, love, also known as the testimonial sandwich. Face to camera customer testimonial, and you could do, 10 women, or you could do 3 people, 10 seconds each. You could do 1 person for a minute. Then you do a demonstration of the product in use. Then you do more face to camera customer testimonials, same people or not. Love, demo, love. It works. So notice that I'm using a square video canvas. So I'm actually having my video editor edit the video. So the video is actually only this rectangle, but you can see above it, I've added captions, and below it, above it, I've added a headline, and below it, I've added captions. So I get an extra headline because I in the video editor, I make a square, and then I put the rectangle video or the iPhone vertical video they shot in there, but then above and below it, I add text. And so the actual video file has big captions and text above it. So that's working good for me. And then I've got a headline down below, customer testimonial above, ownership benefit statement above as well. So as an example, social proof, right? Hey, customer testimonial saying why they like the product. Ownership benefit statement. This is me telling you why we're good. These are simple. They're sheer. You can use them in 5 minutes. Additional headline edited into the video. The mobile square canvas, so it takes up more space on mobile. That would be everything, including the headline, the video, and the captions. It's all in one video file. And then I've got my captions down below, and then ownership benefit statement at the bottom. The beauty of Facebook ads is you really only need one good one. I mean, you look at Dollar Shave Club, they made $1 billion on one video, and their sales process was video, direct to product offer page. Like I showed you, Purple Mattress, same thing, hundreds of millions of dollars, one video, direct to product offer page. So you have to get those 2 assets right, and it takes some iteration, it takes some testing, but if you get a good love, demo, love video, and you optimize your product offer page the way I teach over at Zipify, and you set up you have good profit margin on the product you're selling, you will be much more successful than if you don't do that stuff. And my viewpoint is that there's a perfect ratio of spend. So basically, I think whether it be your Amazon sponsored ads or your Facebook ads, 10 to 30% of your revenue number should be reinvested in paid ads. So if you make $1 million a year in revenue in your brand, at a minimum, $100,000, and at a maximum, $300,000 should be spent back into marketing the brand on paid ads. That is the high level content that I have prepared about why Amazon brands fail when they go off of Amazon. And now I'll just show you, I built this app called Zipify Pages that allows you to copy all of our pages. So if you install a Shopify, if you're using Shopify, you can literally just mimic every page on my site. You can build your site for your brand. I got thousands of merchants. You can build your home page. You can build your e-commerce, category page. You can set up your upsells. You can set up your cross sells. You can build your product offer pages. You can do all of that using our template editor. You can just load your products into Shopify. Then you can, once they're loaded into Shopify, you can install this app and you can say, hey, for this particular buy box. I'm gonna make, this is product page is gonna be for this product. I'm not selling at a discount. I'm gonna add a cross sell of this other product, you know, at 10% off in the buy box. I'm gonna, you know, display this on mobile or not. I'm gonna have an image carousel or not. You can do a lot of really fun stuff. You can upload your, you know, your images, so on and so forth. So I have applications. You can get this one free in the App Store. You can go to apps.shopify.com and you can put in Zipify, and then you can install it for a 14-day free trial. And then one-click upsell, which is the upsell app, you can go to zipify.com products and you can check out one-click upsell and how that works. But I'm really not here to sell you my apps. By the way, is my screen still sharing? It is.
Yep.
So I'm not here to sell you my apps. I am here to share with you where I see people failing and what you have to get right if you go off of Amazon. And given that we only had an hour together, I wanted to leave time to answer your specific questions because I have done this successfully. I've taken several brands off of Amazon and given them, you know, 10 to 50% of their total revenue running on Shopify. And I wanted to clear up any misconceptions that, listen, the plan is not go build a Shopify business. The plan is, hey, listen, if you can take 100% of your work energy and just focus on sponsored search, optimizing your product listing, A+ brand, A+ product pages, Amazon brand registry, you know, Amazon media group ads, using Helium 10, and you can double your Amazon business, just do that. If you have, because starve your ponies, feed your stallions. Double down on what's working. Right now is the greatest gold rush in the history of e-commerce. You have 1 to 3 years to take advantage of it. Do what works. Now, if your goal is wealth creation and you want to, and you're in this to generate wealth, well, you have to look at it at a higher level, which is the asset of your brand is ultimately the vehicle to generating wealth, because wealth is not generated from cash flow businesses, generated from asset liquidation. And you can make money as salaried employee, you can make money as a business owner, but ideally you want to take some of that money and invest it in assets that will appreciate over time. One of those assets is your e-commerce business on Amazon right now. If you took 20% of your energy and you dedicated it to what I'm showing you, and you were able to build out a Shopify site on Zipify, optimize your product offer page, get a good sales video out there on Facebook. I have a free course on the Shopify Academy. It is incredible. You can go to compass.shopify.com. It teaches you all about Facebook ads. It's like in depth about how to run Facebook ads. And you can get 5 to 10% of your sales off of Amazon over the course of, let's say you work on it for 6 months. You've added a multiple of your yearly profit to the sale price. So let's say you sell, you know, you make 200 grand a year in profit. Well, a business that's only Amazon would sell for, let's say, 400 grand. If you've got these brand assets off of Amazon, you've got email addresses, customer data points, you got a Shopify site, you got social media profiles, you've got followers, you got fans, you're building a community, you'll sell for 600,000 instead of 400,000. It's that impactful. So I'm not telling you this to try to pitch you on, hey, go become a Shopify merchant. I actually don't think you should do that. I think you should stay focused on Amazon. But ultimately, the big picture is build the most valuable brand possible. And to do that, you need brand assets and stability. And this is what Amazon brands get wrong, I see, as they go and migrate. And every one of those topics I touched on, I have deeper, more in-depth trainings on the smartmarketer.com blog, the zipify.com website. I got apps that help you. I have courses you can buy, all kinds of stuff. But I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to help you understand at a high level what the game we are playing is. And with that, Bradley, I'm ready to answer questions.
All right, cool. There was one a little bit earlier when you were talking about the buy for one, sell for three. Chaim says, when you say buy for one, sell for three, are you including your fulfillment cost in the one, or is it just cost of goods?
It's just cost of goods.
Okay.
So for example, you know, if your product is, if you're buying it for $6, you want to sell it for a minimum of 18, and then you charge shipping on top of that on your store. And you know, the more, if you could buy it for 6 and sell it for 25, that's better.
Okay, excellent. Just a lot of questions here. Are we making the slides available afterwards?
Yes.
That's some, okay, there we go. That answers about 15
But by the
questions.
way, they're not, you know, these are, the slides are very big picture. I mean, yeah, I show you a lot of stuff, but you go to Zipify and I've got super in-depth technical stuff that goes more in detail on each of these topics. So my goal today was really to get you thinking differently about what the agenda is when you're expanding off of Amazon. It's not to go build a new business. It's to just add to the footprint of the business you already have.
All right. Another question is, in those testimonials, did you have to pay the customers to do that, or do they just give it for
no, and what a
their
lot
own?
of Amazon brands do is they'll take their Amazon reviews, and you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to take a couple of your Amazon reviews and put them in text on your Shopify site. Everybody does it. I am not advising that you do that.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will tell you what I have seen. Almost everybody does it. I've never heard of anyone getting in trouble.
What about the video testimonials when you get the customers to do those
So
face?
what I do, so when you start, you get your cousin, you get your sister, you get your friends, tell them to try your product, shoot an iPhone video about why they love it, what's good about it, and then as you are making sales, you send your customers an email. There's a template in here. Take a look at this. I'll share my screen one more time. So one of our templates is what we call an incentivized video review template. So let me find it here. So it says, hey, hey, get a free $10 gift card to our store by shooting a video of our product. So, hey, you got our product. We want to know if you love it. Grab a smartphone, record a video with your face talking about why you loved our product, what's good about it, show the product, talk about your shopping experience, email that to us, and we'll give you $10 to the store. And that's how we get those. We incentivize them to send them to us.
Nice. Does Zipify work with all Shopify themes? From
Yes.
Fernando. Excellent. Fred is asking about fulfillment. Who does the fulfillment on Shopify, and does Shopify actually hold any inventory?
So usually what people will do is connect their Shopify site to Amazon FBA and let Amazon fulfill the orders. But Shopify has a fulfillment network. It's brand new. I wouldn't recommend it. There are third-party fulfillment networks out there, ShipBob, ShipMonk, ShipStation, you can use, but might as well just use FBA to start.
Okay. When you said at the beginning, this is from Kiva, when you said at the beginning to not bother expanding from Amazon until you're doing 10,000 a month, were you speaking of sales or profit?
Revenue.
Okay.
But, look, I'm more of the like, hey, if your Amazon business is growing really fast and you're at full capacity doing that, why would you get shiny object syndrome and go do something else? If you're growing it and it's working and all your energy is going to that and you're happy, leave it alone. If you have extra capacity or you feel like you could bring on somebody for 20 hours a week for, a total of $1,200 a month or whatever and start this process, do it. But I'm a fan of focus. If the thing is working, focus on it. And if you have extra capacity and you want to start to expand your footprint and you're making money already, great. But don't do it too early.
All right, excellent. Mike says, I sell through Walmart.com. Can you explain the Walmart Shopify integration?
It's brand new. Basically, you can push products from your Shopify account into your Walmart account, and they'll show up there. And then you just run Walmart, and then Walmart will tell Shopify when someone bought, so you can then fulfill. So they talk to each other, and you can run Walmart ads like as per normal and all that.
All right. Elizabeth says, we do actually have a Shopify store which is not being promoted. Could we replace it with your Zipify application model?
So Zipify is not a replacement for Shopify. It's a extension of Shopify that allows you to very easily build a better converting Shopify store. So what you can do is you can install Zipify on the Shopify store you already have, then use it to build your home page, use it to build your collection page, use it to build your product offer pages. The only thing it won't do is your cart. So your current store that you have and the theme that is installed on your Shopify store is what controls its function and is now controlling your home page and your store page and your product pages. You'll use Zipify to replace a bunch of these pages in your theme, but the theme will still control the cart. Zipify doesn't do the cart.
All right. I got a good question here from Jody. Jody says, I'm a relatively new Amazon seller, but I also have a Shopify store I'm about to make live. Now that I saw your webinar, I want to do it this way. But if I only have 3 products at the moment, can I still do this now, or do I need to build up my products and brand first?
It doesn't matter how many products you have. You could build out a Shopify site and start getting that going. You would just have a collection page that only had 3 products on it, and then you'd have 3 individual product offer pages, and that'd be it. You'd have a home page, a collection page, 3 product offer pages, then you'd have about us, contact us, why buy from us. You notice one of our template packs in here. One of our template packs is called Standard Store Pages, and it's like, about us, why buy from us, contact us, FAQ, testimonials and reviews, right? So you're going to have these more standard pages as well. But yeah, I mean, if you've already built it, then great.
All right. Actually, Christian doubles down on that. He said, what if you only have 1 product and you don't have multiple products yet? Can you do Shopify?
Yes. And by the way, I just realized here, I actually have some more slides to share with you.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah. Let me, if you have 1 product, you do a single item mini site. So you would do a mini site, but it would be for 1 item. Okay. So there's a year-over-year halo effect on Shopify, right? Like you get out what you put in. So I advocate for consistent investment, for running ads, every day of the month for a year, spending $1,000 a month or whatever you can afford, watering the garden, and over time, the halo builds up. You build audiences, you build email lists, you build customers, and in year 2, you have a much better platform than you did in year 1. It's why most brands are successful years 3, 4, and 5, because they've got years 1 and 2 backing the success of 3, 4, and 5. You get out what you put in. You have to invest in ads when you're off of Amazon, and you got to do it for a while until it works. So you have to pick a budget that you can afford, $10 a day, whatever it is, and stick to it. And then there's lifetime customer value. So re-engaging, launching, and promoting. So basically, if let's say you're like that brand and you've got 3 products and someone buys 1, you have to run ads to cross-sell people the other 2, right? Hey, thanks for buying the 1 product. We got these other products. You have to, and by the way, this is one of my best cross-sell ads. Super simple. They already know who I am. They already bought from me, so I don't necessarily need a video ad. So I've got, a nice simple image showing the product, little text over it, customer testimonial, call to action, shop now, works really well. I run sale events. I send out content. I launch new products, right? So you got to run sales. Even if you only have 50 people on your email list, every 8 weeks, run a sale. You'll make more money than if you didn't. Once a month, send an email that says, hey, we believe in Earth Day, or it's National Dog Day, or whatever, any piece of content that isn't necessarily sale related, but is informational, educational, and fun, send that out. When you launch new products, send an email to the people that bought in the past and say, we got this new product coming, go get it. We teach about this in Zipify. And then if you want to get real advanced, there's this thing called the engage and filter method, which is where you run video content ads to buyers, subscribers, fans, new prospects, and the people who consume that video, you then retarget to buy from you. So you engage them with content, and then you filter out the people who consume the content, and you get them to buy. So you might run ads that are like, hey, this is the experience of being a woman over 60, and you interview women, or you might run ads like the top 10 places to rock climb in America, or just content that you created, video or article. And then the people who consume that content, you filter them out on Facebook. I have a whole course where I teach this on my site, but basically you say, hey, anybody who watched a video or anybody who clicked the article, run a sale ad to them. And this is really best for people who already bought from you once, but it also works for people who haven't bought from you. And it's called the engage and filter method. Now, in general, brands that break 10 million in sales have or do the following. They have a truly great product, right? Look at these products, Quip, Allbirds, MGemmy, Purple, Tushy. They didn't have unique products. It's not like there weren't electric toothbrushes or pillows or bidets or shoes. It's just that when people got their product, it was really good. So you have to have a product that when someone gets it, it is really good. So if your product's terrible, you need to work on that, because you'll never build a 8-figure brand without a really, really good product. And then eventually you need to go in all in on expanding your line. Like, these are the 2 products that people come to buy from me. And that's 66% of my sales, but 33% of my sales come from these other products that they didn't come to me for, but now that they know about me, they buy from me, right? I learned this from the guys at Dr. Axe. So eventually you gotta build out that product catalog. And that helps you run product launches. And you got to send a lot of emails, right? You can see 34% of my revenue comes from email. When you're off of Amazon, at least once a month, you got to email people, even if it's not a sale, just a piece of content, something you found on YouTube. Like I had a friend who runs a knife business, and he emails Emerald Lagasse knife skills videos. He says, hey, check out Emerald chopping this onion. By the way, you can, use my knife to learn these skills. So you don't even have to create the content. They also run promotions. You'll see I run a promotion every 6 weeks in my brand. I run a sale every 6 weeks. User-generated content, so taking my reviews, putting them on images of the products, putting that out as ads, incentivizing customers to do videos for me, and then running those as ads, putting them on my product offer page. These are conversion assets that go on the product offer page. And they also understand the product and the story. Amazon business owners understand only the product, which is what is it and what are the benefits. But when you're off of Amazon, you also have to know who's buying from you and why are they buying? Who is this person? Why are they interested? What's their life experience? Because you have to tell more of a story. So you have to have a story side of your brand off of Amazon that you really don't have to have on Amazon. On Amazon, you only focus on the product. In e-commerce, it's not about how much you work. It's about what you produce. If you overwork, you're going to burn out, and you're not going to have time for your social life. You're not going to have time for your relationship. You're not going to have time for your hobbies. You're not going to have time for your body. You don't want to overwork. You want to just set good work hours and hold the container around your work environment and produce a lot in the hours that you're working. And the one big secret to building a big brand, someone who started from the bottom and now I'm at the top of the e-commerce, levels of where people generally get, is consistency. I mean, it's literally just repetition. If you spend a year spending 20% of your energy focusing on how to expand off of Amazon and run Facebook ads, you'll get better at it. If you pick up an instrument for 30 minutes a day and play it every day, you're going to get better at it. So all it takes is willpower, the willingness to consistently put your attention in one area over time, every day, even when you hit roadblocks. And that's really all it takes is the skill set of mastery, which is attention in one area over time. And you really can do it. So those were the rest of the slides that I had. I didn't realize they were in there, but I wanted to cover those.
Cynthia was asking, what's the site again with the free Shopify training that you've been mentioning?
Compass. So I've got free Shopify trainings on zipify.com. So zipify.com you can go to. And then you can also go to compass.shopify.com. But you can't get, I'm gonna grab a link to this real quick. You can't get access to my courses over here unless you have a Shopify site. And if you don't have a Shopify site, you can go to you can go to smartmarketer.com/Shopify. And then they'll know that you came from me. Let's just make sure that works. Yeah, so let me send this to you. So if you go to smartmarketer.com/Shopify, you get an extended trial because you came from me. And then once you do that, then you can go to this URL here and you can watch my free course, but you need that Shopify account first.
All right, excellent. Kim says, I see that video is one of the most important aspects of conversion. Where do you have videos made? You do those in-house?
Well, I get my customers to shoot them for me, and then I edit them together in iMovie or ScreenFlow. I don't do this. I have one of my team members do it. But you can do it on Fiverr, right? You don't need fancy video. You need real, authentic video. Shot on an iPhone is fine. It doesn't have to be super fancy. Production value doesn't matter.
More genuine sometimes if it's not, like if it's maybe too heavy a production, I would imagine people are like, this is just, a setup. These are actors.
I mean, it works too, but we find that the more authentic, simple version works better.
Cool. Argus says, which social media platforms would you recommend doing the brand advertisements on?
Facebook and Instagram to start.
All right. Bob says, hey, Amazon buyers are used to free shipping. Is there a barrier to, is this a barrier to successful sales on Shopify?
One more time.
So like he's saying that Amazon buyers are used to, free shipping, but is this like a barrier for, if you were to add shipping on Shopify, does this like lessen your conversions?
So we charge for shipping. We charge $5 for most orders, but the way to do it is to give free shipping over a specific dollar amount. So say, hey, orders over $50 get free shipping. That's the way to do it on your e-commerce store. Orders over $75 get free shipping. And you generally want to set that threshold above your average order value. So if your average order value is $50, then which Shopify shows you what your average order value is, set free shipping at 55.
All right. Elena, this is kind of a general question. I'm not sure if you can answer it, but she says, how much time should one budget to plan for a Shopify store and train to manage it?
Well, it's like anything, right? Where it's like at the beginning, it's a lot of work because you got to learn how to do it. And then over time, it's not as much, but it's less about how much you should budget. And it's more about what do you feel comfortable allocating? Like, can you take 10% of your time and focus on this? If so, set aside a half a day once a week to work on this and just get what you get done in that half day. It's less about how long is the overall cycle, because there's a lot of shit to do and it takes as long as it takes you to implement that or whoever's on your team to implement it. And so it's more about how much time can I consistently put in the direction of this that's not going to be at the detriment of my Amazon brand.
Makes sense. Tanae says, what if I have a popular brand on Amazon? Would it be a good idea to actually sell higher on Shopify than my Amazon price?
I see people doing both. I see people selling at the same price and I see people selling it higher. I'm actually going to sell higher on Amazon and lower on Shopify because I want to incentivize people to buy on Shopify.
Okay. We've got Jeff here. It says you mentioned increasing the value of your Amazon brand by 50%, 400,000 to 600,000 with having a Shopify site. Now, how much would you be selling off of Amazon or percentage of your Amazon sales to justify this much of an increase in value of your business overall?
So every brand and the valuation of every brand is going to be a little bit different. But if you are at 10 to 20% of your revenue coming from off of Amazon, you're far more valuable than if you're at, let's say, 1 to 5% of your revenue coming from off of Amazon. And if you got no revenue coming from off of Amazon, you're less valuable than if you have any coming from off Amazon. But if you can get in that 20% threshold, that's solid potato salad.
All right, Dimitri has a question I can actually take. He was worried, he's planning to go to Shopify, but he's very worried about these inventory limitations that are happening on Amazon. He's like, hey, this might delay my Shopify app. Dimitri, literally this morning, I wrote a blog on that where it's not as bad as you think. So I would say keep going with your plan to launch on Amazon. Just go to helium10.com/blog. Look at that first article. You'll see I wrote exactly about that. But if you still have this plan to start Amazon now, Shopify soon, you still should be good to go, Dimitri.
Yeah, don't switch to doing Shopify instead of Amazon. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's what he was wondering about. Yeah.
No, don't do that.
How do you get the assets to target the right audiences when you're just launching off of Amazon?
What do you mean?
I'm assuming they're talking about maybe like how do you, if you don't have an off Amazon audience, how do you start generating ads? Like how do you choose your different audiences?
Go through that Shopify course that I gave you a link to, because I teach you how to build what are called customer avatars and figure out who you should be targeting with your ads.
Okay. Now, is that last link that you just showed us there, is that the one that shows your training on Facebook ads on Shopify?
Yeah, actually,
sign up for the Shopify account?
I have 2 trainings on there. If they'll go to Shopify, they'll see that one, and then if they click the other courses, they'll see I have a second one as well. I have 2 trainings on there. That's one of them.
Jose says, for your courses, information, advice, etc., can it be applied to European markets easily?
Yes, tons of European sellers use my stuff.
All right, let's see. Can we use Zipify with WooCommerce sites?
No, it's Shopify only.
Right. This is from Kim. My website has never generated the revenue and profit that Amazon does. If you drop ship from your own warehouse, how do you compete with FBA prices?
I don't think I understand. If you drop ship from your own warehouse, if you were
So
shipping
I
it
think
out,
she's saying like if I'm
wouldn't
doing
it not be drop
Shopify
shipping?
and I'm wait drop ship, yeah, that's kind of so maybe she means ships from her own warehouse, like maybe using a 3PL or something. So she's saying she can't compete with the FBA prices.
Yeah, well, you don't have to, because like I was saying was that the people who are buying from your Shopify site are not Amazon buyers. They didn't find you on Amazon. They're not searching on Amazon. They found you through an ad on social media, and then they went to your site to buy. If they were people who bought on Amazon, they would see the ad on social, and then they'd go, I'm going to go see if this is on Amazon, which some people will do, and then they'll buy it over there. So you set up your Shopify site such that it's profitable. You charge shipping, you put whatever prices you put, and then you work on your ads and your offer pages until you convert well. You think of it as separate. Don't try to dictate your strategy on your site based on what you're doing on Amazon. It's a whole different world and a whole different set of buyers and prospects.
And another thing that once your Shopify, gets like a lot of organic ranking, what I've noticed, just in general, not necessarily Shopify, is that there's people who don't trust the .com and they see an ad or something and they'll be like, oh, this looks cool, but let me go look on Amazon to see if it's available there. So it kind of goes both ways. Simone says, my Amazon business has stalled altogether and now I'm looking to expand to my own site. This is recommended. So she's not having success on Amazon. Should she try Shopify?
I mean, I would recommend taking another shot. Amazon's easier to be successful at in general than Shopify, because Amazon is your traffic source and it's your e-commerce engine. It's everything all in one. Shopify, you got to go buy traffic at Facebook and Instagram, send them to your Shopify site, upsell them, cross them. It's a little more complex. So if Amazon isn't working, you might want to revamp and take another swing at that first.
All right. Uran says, driving traffic to a Shopify store other than Facebook ads, what's the next thing that you would recommend?
Instagram. And then YouTube.
All right. Does Zipify work in markets other than the US market?
Yeah, we got a bunch of European and Australian and Canadian and folks like that using it.
Sammy has a question I'm interested in here. I have already my own website. Can I convert it or pass it through to Shopify, or does he have to start from scratch?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you can convert it, but the process of converting is signing up for Shopify and building it out over there. So if it's built on some other platform, you can't just wave a magic wand and have it now be Shopify. You have to actually go build it, right? So the conversion process is signing up for Shopify and then building it out over there through, some kind of either Zipify pages or a designer and a developer.
Sam says, on Amazon, I can sell random products, not necessarily from the same category. Is that different with Shopify? So if you have a Shopify website, do you have to is it more important to stick with a general?
Tons of people sell just random stuff, all kinds of random items. So you don't have to have a specific theme.
Kiva's asking, is there a simple way to do sales tax on Shopify sites the way Amazon collects and remits tax to different states?
Yeah, there's TaxJar, there's AvaTax, there's a bunch of apps that do it for you.
All right, let's see. Raphael says, please ask Ezra how you can grow an e-commerce website or products where their products are restricted. I'm not exactly sure. Raphael, we might need some more clarification on that there. Let's see.
I'm running out of a little steam here.
Okay. Oh yeah, wow. Time flies. We're having fun, huh? Look at that.
Yeah. If you got like some key ones that you feel like are really good to get to. I know I told you, I was like, I'll have plenty of energy. It's Friday, end of the week. I'm feeling tired.
We're at the end of the 15-day sumo tournament. Last day, almost running out of steam here, like Hakuho just did.
I know, dude. I was so upset.
Is it difficult? Here's a good one. I think I saw this multiple times. I'll just do a couple more here. Adrian says, is it difficult to set things up so Amazon fulfills your Shopify orders? Any resources you can recommend?
It's a standard integration. Shopify has really good documentation on it. It's literally like a 2 or 3 click integration. It's very easy.
All right, I think that's about it. So just if you could just recap again how people can find more information on how to get started, those free resources, the Zipify website, spell it out, just for people who...
Yeah, so Zipify, ZIPIFY.com, Zipify, ZIPIFY. You can find a lot of stuff on the blog over there. I've got those free courses on Shopify, Compass, COMPASS.shopify.com. Follow me on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I am at Ezra Firestone on Instagram, and I'm also at Ezra Firestone on Twitter if you're over there. And I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/meet Ezra. And I'm always putting stuff out. Bradley, if it's helpful, I could compile a list of like maybe, some articles that I think would be useful for people who are looking to expand, and some other kind of helpful resources. But I think that, basically it goes like this: set up your Shopify site, add all your Amazon products over there, build it out so that it's highly set up to convert well, either on Zipify or otherwise, nice product images, some sales videos, some sales copy, things like that. Get it all set up so you're ready to take payments and taxes and all that. All the technical annoying stuff is done. Set up your tracking, which Shopify shows you how to do all that. And then go through the 2 Facebook courses on the Shopify Compass and put 5 or 10% of your energy into driving traffic to your new store, and just tweak it over time, just like you did with your Amazon business.
Yep. What I'd like you to do, maybe with somebody in your team, to show people a little bit more of this in real life. I don't know if you know about that Project X experiment that we did on YouTube, where we launched 2 products from scratch on Amazon. Maybe we can make a Shopify, using Zipify, we can make a Shopify site and do some, show people how it actually works in real life. So we'll be working on that for you guys in the next few weeks possibly. But Ezra, thank you so much for coming on here. You even opened up my eye. I've never had even my own Shopify site, and some of those things were mind-boggling, especially that heat map that you showed about how people don't scroll, and it's just great. And I see tons and tons. We had over looks like 800 people on this webinar that came on.
Hey,
so I saw
I hope
tons
it
of
was
great
helpful.
comments.
It's good. Really, just like there's no rush. Take your time. You don't have to do this tomorrow. It's good to be thinking about all the different ways to expand the valuation and footprint of your brand, and this is one of them. And if you take a step today and a step tomorrow and a step the next day, you turn around in a year and you're really far along. So hope that was helpful, and we'll catch up with you all soon.
All right, see everybody later. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.